Hello,
Okay,
it's very
so
nice
we
to
go.
meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Gunnars.
Gunnars, that's right.
Gunnars. Yeah, I looked at the name and it's like, how should I say it? Gunnars. And nice to meet you. Very pleased to hear you. You study in Mannheim?
I studied for this last year, but
Okay.
that was like just Erasmus.
Okay,
Just
Erasmus. Did
yeah.
you enjoy it? How was Mannheim?
Yeah, it was great.
living
It was
there?
great. Like the professor and the theory and everything. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So your German must be good if you study 1 year.
Ja, ich kann auch Deutsch sprechen, aber
Mine is
lieber nicht.
district. English is better. Great. Okay. So you have Sarabanda and Giga from
Yes, exactly.
Partita 2. Okay. Okay. You want to play the two things through, or do you want to work on one thing and then go move on? What do you prefer?
We can go one at a time.
Okay.
That should be good.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Beautiful. Can you play with baroque bow? Baroque bow.
Yeah, I'm trying to, better my music.
Yeah, I mean it
with
helps.
this.
I
Yeah.
believe. I mean I still unfortunately I don't have baroque bow, but I know how different it feels, and I'm trying to have
Yeah.
one too because I do think it does a lot of different ideas about Bach, and it sounds beautiful, and I think it gives naturally some different kind of articulation.
Yeah, exactly. That's why my professor encouraged me to get
Mhm.
bow. Yeah.
Very nice. Have you tried other like movements like fugue or chaconne or something like that? Did you try?
Yes, I'm currently like learning Czechon also, so
Okay.
it's
And
very interesting.
What's most actually difficult from Bach?
I don't know. Well, it presses back quite good.
Mhm.
It of course it doesn't bounce as much
Mhm.
because it's not kind of supposed to,
Mhm.
and but it gives quite nice moments when you have to,
Sure.
for example, overtake
Yes,
and
yeah.
come back.
And especially
Yeah.
for the chords, I hear
Yeah.
very different sound, which is great. I also I enjoyed it very much. From their but point of view, maybe tell me, because like if that wouldn't work for baroque bow, or if it's difficult for the baroque
Okay.
bow, if my comments are not helping, then we can
No, that's
think in
fine.
different ways. because I still think, I mean, I guess you are also trying to search the right sound for that, right?
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
it's a little bit different. That's why I'm a little bit of, I'm really worried which way I should actually describe, but I'll try. And because there's some like the big chords, you know, I like that you're almost like an arpeggio on it, but sometimes I wish still, what's really important is always the bass, you know, the bass has to be there, and sometimes I'm missing that bass, and I think you can maybe not pressing wise, but maybe time wise, you can have a little bit more on the bass, especially when it comes to important chords, so that we understand the structure a little bit better.
Okay.
And I think I like the tempo in the beginning, but somehow maybe it's very airy and then you enjoy it a lot, and it gets a little bit faster. It gets too
much fun.
full on, yes, especially the 16 notes and 32nd notes were a little bit too flowing. But what I enjoyed a lot is this dance feeling. I liked it very, very much, so it has to be there. So maybe, but it's not the dance that it's, you know, uplifting. It's very, you know, it's a heavy, elegant or sad a bit. So maybe you can keep that until the end, as even though music grows, maybe you can still have that kind of generosity in this movement.
Okay.
Yeah? Let's try to find it. And just for the first chord, I saw you maybe. Oh, without telling you, maybe you start again. Try to start. Yeah. So because I hear. And I wouldn't imagine from that, I wouldn't imagine this coming. So maybe how you breathe is actually how you sing, right?
Yeah.
So breathe. And one thing, is it possible to have, I hear da da, I think it's also this mic, but maybe ta da, more this, not ta ta ta.
Okay, more
or do you
bass.
imagine it, yeah? Little bit
I'll
more.
try.
No. Breathing.
No.
I still.
Oh shit.
One thing important thing is so basically, and then there's still tempo, right? And a lot of times it's still short, and it's always never in right tempo.
Oh,
so that's connection to and it's same with the chaconne. Always gets always gets shorter, but try to then count from da-da. But this one doesn't, but especially in chaconne, when you hit the top notes and then you count. Yeah?
Okay.
So not from da-da, then it will always be too fast, yeah?
Okay.
Sorry, your name Gunnars. That has to come. I like all this shaping and your basically like this bouncing feeling. Maybe we can now think a little bit more in phrase.
Okay.
Because I hear this little bit things, but I would want to have a little bit more clear sentence. So maybe also this. I hear this, which is good for the pulse, but I want to also it goes there, no?
Okay.
And then like huge intervals. And
Yeah, of
interval
course.
means huge. So maybe
A
you
lot
can
bigger.
enjoy that. Yeah. And then next sentence. And then I loved how you did second time, because it was more I don't know, it had more this calmness in it a little bit.
Okay.
So let's have a little bit more longer phrase.
Okay.
With what
I'll
you
try.
do. Yeah. Yeah? You wanna play second time? Just now?
Okay.
For me, the difference when you do little this what is it called? Oh my god, my English. The little notes, like the improvisation kind of thing. It's what's difference is by you playing that, it automatically gives like time.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about it. I mean, it's beautiful also, and also the character-wise, when you do little like on the long notes, then it gives you also the better character somehow. Because what I didn't really enjoy was it's maybe too there was too dry, and instead of so that's why I mean,
Okay.
I'm exaggerating, but it sounded a little bit like that. Now, when you do second time with your variety things, it doesn't have that character in it, which I like. So maybe you can, the first time, the classic version could also have this kind of character a little bit more in it. And I don't really want to talk about intonation so much when we have 55 minutes, but sometimes, I mean, in general, it's okay. Sometimes just the important chord, like the solo chord, this kind of chords, or a little bit. So I mean, intonation is our forever homework. So, but like you should. Maybe when you work on intonation, there is a resonance that gives you when the right intonation comes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get used to that, you really cannot miss the right intonation.
Okay.
And in Bach, it's even more important because it's all chords and stuff. So try to listen how it rings when you play the notes, especially chords. So that there is intonation that gives you full amount of resonance, yeah? Try to find that when you work on intonation, just not if it's right or wrong, yeah? Sorry, because I don't know if this is computer, but do you actually separate this movement, or can that be more? Yeah. Can that be less? Yes, as not vertical as was not like this, But I see somehow
just
the more round, somehow more
as round as possible.
Way. Exactly, yeah. That sound is good. Second one is better, but first one didn't work out because what do you think? What do you think is the problem?
Not breathing.
Yes.
Properly.
Yes. Have more weight. Have more weight. All your weight.
Yeah. Okay.
this line a little bit more, and here, their intonation you should find.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's try from there. I wanna hear.
The bass
I
line
said-
more?
No. I said
Yeah.
I don't want to really focus on the intonation so much,
Oh,
but
okay.
I wanna know how you find the intonation. Maybe I could give you a tip. So can you actually, now playing again the same place, you could play also slower, but as if you're practicing in the room. I know it's very uncomfortable in this situation, but
Sure.
trying to show me how you actually practice with intonation.
Something like that?
Okay. So it takes time, but I believe you know. Just sometimes I have feeling maybe you can focus a little bit more on the what you can build on, you know, not just
Okay, right.
individual. I feel like you're just finding each note instead of where are you building the notes, especially like how are you gonna build from when you find this to be this, and then so find the bottom, and then and then I think that I'm sure you know it, but maybe you were not doing it more carefully. But that
more
always
time on
helps. Yeah, unfortunately, you shouldn't be lazy with the intonation. We should never. Yeah, so you can do a little bit slower, but that's because it is in this movement also very important to have this resonance chords.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So let's find. You can do a little bit slower, but try to have that sound of resonance. You have big. Yes. So, okay, you can be very honest to me. You don't like intonation practice. Who likes? Do you like?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Most
I
common
also-
thing in my everyday schedule.
Yeah, I think though, it's maybe first step for us to not think it is as a work or something that we
Okay.
have to do. Because in the end, the joy comes from right intonation too, right? So if
Yes,
we
exactly.
play in tune, I also realize even after playing this instrument for more than 30 years, still I find out the joy of when it's in tune. Not because I hit the right notes, it's great. No, not that. But what it gives you in music when it's actually really right notes, yeah. Because when composers composed, I mean they had that in mind, like how this would sound, and what intonation, especially chords, especially classical or baroque music,
Yeah,
what
of course.
chords can give the character is so big. So that's why I think it's extremely important for us to find this. So don't think of intonation as a practice. But for instance, you can wake up in the morning, you can have your coffee next to me, and try to find those three, how it different, what kind of different sound it makes. For example, if it's this or that, or you find what kind of thing it gives you, yeah,
Okay.
and then try to find also when it's a little bit like that or like that, you should be able to just in enjoy what differences it gives you.
Yeah,
So in the end, it's not practice to find the right intonation, but finding out what kind of colors it gives.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you will automatically, I think, it gives you to the right point. Yeah.
Okay.
So just try to have a little bit of changing in mind that.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I see it. You have musicality. I understand the characters and the phrases are mostly very clear. I think you're missing this point of bring out the right intonation for the chords. What that gives you, yeah.
Okay.
So we're not gonna work on it, don't worry about it now. But just yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go again from now. You can just play. And when it's really bad, I will just tell you or scream at you that it's out of tune.
I'll probably hear it myself. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I trust that. So let's go from the after the repeat one more time. Can you enjoy more? Yes. Then you will make the sound. Yeah. One time. One more time. I think you can expand. So make the music a little bit expand a bit, so that you have time for da di da da da, so that it connects also. Yeah.
Okay.
One time. I have question. First question is here. Is it end and then, or is it
Yeah.
right?
It
Then
surely has connection to the
exactly.
next one.
Yeah. Then I think this finishes too soon, and then I hear like this bit. So maybe we can. Yeah. And similar question for me there. This isn't this? That's actually connection to the right. So I think it should come out of this. I think then you will have a connection. So these things are little thing I said in the beginning that I hear this and that instead of a line. Yeah. So let's go from same place. One more time. I think maybe here I like the character, but then it's like twice faster. Feels like. Because I like the character, but maybe still in same kind of tempo, and then you don't have to rush. This da-da-da-da-da, that should still speak a bit. So maybe too fast bow, maybe there.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go from there. be. That should be a little more. Yeah, fixed. Yeah, and when you hear it, somehow you start with wrong, then you can move around, but try to find within the note codes, you know, because like the sound is going within the note codes, you should still find the right intonation. Yeah, and another question. So, and then this. Is it closing? Because I hear a little bit like that instead of. You can have, of course, different phrases. Yes, that I don't push to the same ideas, but I just keep saying that I would love to have a little bit longer, like longer notes. So, for example, this if it's, then there's a huge gap, which automatically just blocks and stops the music. Yeah. So just watch out this a little bit more. Yeah. So for a little more from there. It's very beautiful. I like it. But I'm trying to find the connection to what you just played, that part, and how you started, the tempo. Okay. That should be. So maybe we started a little bit too slow side. Yeah. Or there should be a little bit of, I mean, you can also listen to this later and then figure out, maybe I'm too sensitive, but
I think I'm losing like the breaths in between, you know?
Little bit. Yeah, yeah. So maybe especially when you have, I mean, I like this flowing of 16 notes, but watch out that they don't sound like all of a sudden I sound like it's getting faster. Because, because like this whole movement, it's still Sarabanda and has actually similar, I mean, I'm not talking about metronome-wise this, I hate that, but somehow should be a connection. So you can still have, for example, second time you repeat the first half, you could be, of course, more imaginary and with more this improvisation thing, but also that should somehow combined all together in one structure. Yeah. So if you have too much of this freedom, and then in the end this freedom, then there's no connection, and in the end it's separated. And I would love to have one picture. So maybe you can maybe to practice, just to check yourself, put on metronome once. It doesn't ruin, and especially, I mean, if it's like non-musical person who feels nothing, then I wouldn't recommend this. But I see what you're doing, and I see what you have as a musicality. But just to control yourself, and have a bigger picture of the whole movement. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, do you want to play jig?
Sure.
You can play chaconne if you want.
No, it's very not ready.
Okay.
I just had a race.
Exactly. Yes. It sounded a bit like that.
Yes.
No, which is great. It's written like that a bit. But what do you think? Have you played this in concert?
Yes, I have. Like it is, I think, one of the oldest pieces that I've.
Oh, really? Also, you
yeah,
know it
from
very
Bach,
well
exactly,
already.
to be honest.
Okay, so whenever you play this on the stage, how is the feeling, and
same thing happens. It's always like, you know,
Yeah,
I start to like, okay, this is gonna be the time I'm playing like good and
without
in
mistake,
one tempo, and then in the end I'm just like
because it's because the music
lost.
drives you like that. I think in like automatically, right? I mean that's basically the difficult part. And I guess that it's what we're practicing for, so that even though that happens, somehow your finger goes on, you know, so that it doesn't mess up. But I think I also the same thing. Whenever I'm on stage with this, I'm like, please just don't stop. And of course something little happens, but I give up on playing everything perfect, but I try to have this my own excitement in it, and more and more I play, somehow this character for me, this character is so like, it's kind of like very manly to me. It's, I mean, in the beginning I thought it's like, and especially with like Sarabanda, I also, to connect to it, I thought it's more elegant. But more and more I play or practice, I have this picture of very like, why not? We have whole lifetime to figure out what is good, what is for your music. But whatever character it is, I think it could be more clear.
Yeah.
What's your picture on this in this moment?
Well, Jig, as I know, it's like an old English dance of the merman.
Yes.
So it's you know, that's where the manliness, I guess, comes from.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to also have this kind of.
Yeah.
So that automatically gives what it would made me different. First was the tempo a bit, because we can't really play fast like this and with that character. So automatically then it gives this character more, and also and it gives more possibility and space for doing this character, right?
Yeah.
All through until the last note, not just the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult thing. Then also when it goes on, then you get faster and then like that, yeah? So let's try to always don't forget this character in general. Of course, in between there are little different things, but in general, so that we have this thing until the end. I think that must help something to have same pulse and not getting faster and getting excited like this, but have this constant this thing, yeah. So maybe in the beginning you could even like you could feel like it's a bit too held, but maybe we can try to practice and really held and then see how it goes. Yeah, how it goes and how it develops. Let's see. The beginning was very good, and then and again this also, and then so basically so maybe you can bring that out a little bit more. Yeah. Gunnars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gunnars. Just the very first note.
Okay.
Same thing. You can't just sorry. Whatever you do, I think the preparation is very important. That's also one thing I learned even more when I play in orchestra, because also from my position, of course, I have to give whole my group what kind of push I'm giving. So I'm learning that still a lot. That then I realized really, for example, like if you see the conductors, I mean, yes, some of the conductors will give like this sometimes, but it'll be very difficult to understand, right?
Yes,
and I think already the preparation is the music. So whatever music you're playing, the preparation is as important as the first note. Actually, well, they're connected. So if your preparation is not right, your first note cannot be fully convincing.
Yeah.
So and I'm not just talking about the gesture, but breathing and gesture that brings what music it is, right? So no one rushes you, and have all your time, especially in the concert. You can take whatever your time, but until you're ready, and then go. Yeah. Don't think too much.
I guess that's another thing not to do.
I mean, how is it? What is this pickup? It's actually, it's not da. It's actually 1 2 3 1 2 ba ba. You played in orchestra?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
In some.
Yeah. So you know the conductors how they would give.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you can't really think what motion I want to feel, imagine conductors how they would do.
Oh yeah, sure.
If they do give ba ba, like something like this, and to give, right? So you can feel ba ba da ba ba, something like this, yeah. This time? What did you feel
I was really trying to like keep cool, you know.
Yes.
In the place.
I could feel that, which actually keeps the character until the end, which was I think it's like amazing without practicing. Yeah, you could bring that up. Now, what you can, if I could give you a tip. Okay, when we are very busy and doing a lot of things, then what should we focus on? We should focus on how to make it simple, right? How to make it easier. So when you have fast notes and it runs, is it easier to use a lot of bow or less bow?
Less bow.
Less bow. Yeah. And of course, when it's, I mean, I guess with Bach bow, you always need a little bit more bow, I guess, than the modern bow. But still, for example, especially when you have to do, when you have to go like string crossing, and or all these things, when you have to somehow have these actions in it, then you should really, when you practice, catch what you're doing with bow. And if I can reduce anything to make less movement but clearer sound, but if you do less movement, it will come more clearer sound, because I mean, this is very difficult. But if you do less bow, and also it's not every note is important, no? It's light and light. So for the light and less important notes, you could just be more chilled.
Yeah. Okay.
So sometimes, I mean, you could maybe watch this video later and you see how much bow and how you could reduce. Maybe you can check that out. And exactly. So I practice, for example, when I also do that, because I think when we're nervous or when we're just rushing, the first thing is just being busy. And then you just need to figure out how to make yourself not busy. And I, when I practice like really slow and really, and then really without bow, how much bow and then when you play faster, still it's in your comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a slow process. So it won't not work. Maybe you could just play now. We have like 10 minutes. You could play now a little bit slow and show me what kind of movement with the bow you can do.
Okay.
And let's see what brings that out.
From the beginning, the first part?
Oh, you can start from third bar. So it's so what I hear is you bring two notes on. So you want to bring that out, or is it? So what I'm
more like that. The second
yeah,
time.
right. So and then you. I mean, of course, the first note has to be heard. This heard, but I think you can use more different. If I exaggerate, and even that, it's actually this 2 bar has this little shape, right? It's also not same. It's not the same, right? Or you could do opposite, but these 2 bars go actually, it's in one phrase. So also we could also think it doesn't sound all the time same. Yeah? Okay. Sorry. From bar 3 again. Yeah. What did you not like? Or were you not sure?
Yeah, I think like more movement in the sense of the phrase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then bring that out more. I will not tell you how, but you bring it out. Yeah, it's better, but maybe you can start less and then go more.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah? Okay. One last thing, it was much better when you hear bow, because otherwise we have one note and then it's 5 notes. I mean, you somehow manage it, but it'll be more. Then also you will have time for da 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 ram bam 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 da 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 da. Then it's more rhythmic, yeah. Instead of da 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 da. Yeah. Okay, one last time from part 3. I think it's good. It was much better. I liked it. But here maybe you can also think of maybe all this phrase and also dynamics a little bit. How? Because from here I hear like almost like same thing always. Yeah. But for example, here I think it will be much lighter. so that it goes another. So a little bit more of this difference within movement, yeah? I wanted to say at bar 8, for example, you go, but then I don't hear because you do, actually it goes, it keeps going on, yeah? So don't miss the first note. This first note still has to stick out a little bit more, yeah? So then let's go from relax. Good, good. I think it was clear at bar 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I think you know this part. You know the difference when it's working and when it's not working? You know why it's not working? When it does not work?
When I rush into it too soon.
When you rush this, when you don't give enough weight of, whenever you catches it, it works. But if you when you're not catching it, it doesn't work. So always yes. So means to go in there. If you rush, then it will not work. Yeah. So then afterwards it was fine. But just don't lose that. Yeah. Always that. And when slur comes in this motorcycle riding, when slur comes, then you have to really enjoy the slur. For example, I mean, this is a little but here. Not just as if it's just, So, well, they will give another space for you. Yeah? And then also, you need a little time off so that you can start again. Yeah? So it's not. And then you die. Then it's really difficult. So whenever there is different some rhythms or slurs or length of notes, then in this movement, very important to pick it up. Are we done? Or I don't know.
I'm not sure. Are we done? Galayo.
Because I don't know if until when that will stop probably.
I think like by judging from time, we have some 5 minutes, maybe more.
Okay, great. Okay, so I think it's very important. Then you would also have some kind of excitement without stressing you. Yeah, and feel free to have more dynamics, whatever you want to. So a little bit more. If you want to have more forte piano, just bring that out more. Yeah, something more. Let's go from. Where is it good? Do you wanna go from? That's
I guess
bar
that's
9.
good. Yeah.
Maybe it's too fast. And also, just for the single notes, when you the da 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 like this, yes, it's for sure. I mean, try to not miss the notes with the sound. Means sometimes also that has to do with how much bow you use. where you use. For example, here. You know why you missed some notes? There in that bar. Did you know you missed?
Yes, I hear it, that they're like not properly on the string.
Yeah.
They don't respond. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I figured your string crossing is not matching with your left hand.
Oh.
So you didn't know, huh? Somehow right arm is slower than that left hand.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's a bit like it's not really matching. So even in this one bar, you can make when you practice, so that even though you play, you still have this da 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 da. To think like that is better than da 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 da. Then it'll be yeah. So that can and yeah, for this you should just practice really slow. Just so every note is in your hand. You know all this great. Which violins do you like?
Oh my God! I actually like Lisa Batishvili very
me
much.
too.
The way she plays.
Yes, me too. But okay, for example, her. I mean, she's also a big example. The first thing that greatest violin is what's different for me. What I find it always different is how this is never leaving anywhere.
Yes.
It's so sticking to the string and the instrument, and whatever color they make and whatever articulation, even though it's surtato, there's always this point of sound coming. And when you see, that's the most, I mean, this, for example, is very different, right? Lisa plays a bit different, Kavakos plays very different, you know, everybody's different. But with the arm, it's always, you never find anybody who you feel like, oh, it's everywhere, right?
Okay.
And I think it's for us, and especially students, very important. Why? Like, what does this bow does? Yeah. So, so always fast, slow, focusing on your bow a lot, and because this is the first difference. You can watch a lot of musicians, how they're doing it. You can try to imitate them, movement, and figure out why the sound. I mean, we all shapes differently. So you will find your best way. I will find my best way. But there is a point. Yeah.
Yes.
So even in this moment, practice slow, because then you can find what speaks the most. Do you have to finish?
I think yes.
Are they giving you a sign?
They're not giving any signs.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you could try one more time if you want.
Maybe like the last bar.
To
check the crossings.
Yes. What I feel is this is too much in the air. One more time. The internet was a bit shaky. And I still feel da 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 da. This rushes a bit, yeah. I just want you to feel when the string changes. I want you to feel it with physically a little bit more on the right arm. Yes. Yes. And there's a little. Then it's more. Then it sticks the string more. Yeah. One more time. Exactly. Then I hear every single note with the point, not like this, yeah. And I think it connects to the next, to the tempo and the character and musicality and everything. So everything is connected. So just try to figure out which way and what connects to what. And yeah, it's fun. It's not the stress and then practice, and it makes you some kind of fun in the practicing. So make your own way of fun practicing. Yeah? But great. Sounded great.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it very much.
Great to meet you.
Goodness, me too. I hope I'll see you somewhere. I love Riga. if you're there next year,
Yeah.
I hope to see you there.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks a
very
lot.
much. Bye.
Bye.